Okay, we're live. Hey guys, this is Bobby Clue with the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. Back at it again for another one of our virtual ribbon cuttings. Excited, we're here at the Chamber office today, and I'm excited to be here with three very dynamic ladies from our community who's come together to form a very powerful organization. So, from the heart. So tell us a little bit. So Angela Blankenship, Angie or Angela?
Either one.
Either one. It's kind of like Bobby, Robert. Yeah. Right. So I answer to a lot of different stuff. Crystal Reynolds, April Slagle.
Yes.
So you all are kind of the co-founders of From the Heart Ministry. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why you formed this organization?
We can. So we formed right in the middle of COVID in July of 2020. We had a recovery center come visit our church one Wednesday evening, and we looked around and realized that only a couple of them had Bibles. So we sat down that following weekend and we were like, what could we do to put a Bible in everybody's hand? And then we decided that our God is a really big God and that we didn't have to just stop at a Bible, so we came up with this idea. Everything in our bag has been researched. Like we knew what was going to work best with recovery centers throughout at least Kentucky. And then we started running scripture, trying to find the name, and From the Heart was born. So we decided that HEART stands for Helping Every Addict Recovering Today.
Wow. So when you talk about bags, so you're physically going into places like Sky Hope Women's Recovery Facility. So you're going over and working with Melissa, and you're providing these bags to each one of the residents over there. So what's in one of the bags? So I see the Bible. What else do you provide them with?
They get the notebook. They get a 28-day devotional.
Yeah. I moved those pens.
That's
they get
okay.
those.
They get a pen and a highlighter, a handwritten note card of encouragement, a bookmark, and then this little handheld cross.
That's beautiful.
And our favorite thing is to say that they can hold it in their palm and they can cling to Jesus in their darkest hour.
Sure. So I'm Lake Cumberland Recovery. Is that another with Michael and
that we started? Yep.
Yeah, sure. So I actually went to school with Michael. I've known him for a long, long time. Those are no. It's these are great. These are great initiatives. I mean, it takes a village to make sure that these people come through recovery and can successfully graduate from these programs. And I think what you guys are doing is fantastic. Do you go over and do you meet with the girls, or do you go talk with the guys over there at Lake Cumberland Recovery, or do you just drop the bags off and let them do the work?
We have recently, because of COVID, we weren't allowed in when we first started. So just this year we've been able to go. We went into Isaiah House and got to love on those guys. We see Lake Cumberland Recovery everywhere we go, so those guys know us. We were able to go to Sky Hope and speak recently.
How about Somerset Sober Living? Have you guys gone over there and interacted with them at all?
Yes.
Great organization. They're doing some good work too. Well, that's great. So I know another thing that you're doing is you're providing meals to our community as well for people who might need some help there as well. So when do you do that? Provide the meals?
We do that every Thursday between 6:30 and 7. We normally start at 7. Now that it's getting darker faster, we may bump that back to 6.
And where do you do that at?
On the Judicial Center.
Okay, so you can go to the Judicial Center every Thursday and you can get a meal. So if there's anybody watching and you know somebody who might need a little bit extra help, they might have some, food insufficiency issues or anything like that, they can always go. We were actually talking, you can go across the street from the Chamber office to the Methodist Church on Wednesdays and have dinner over there. They'll feed anybody that walks up to their door. And it looks like on Thursdays, you can go down to the Judicial Center around 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending, and you can get a meal there as well. So I'm telling you guys, if you know people out there, this is the kind of good stuff that a community, like I said, this is the good stuff about a community. When they say kind of like a rising tide raises all boats, it takes people doing this, and volunteering their time and, kind of just having a heart for their community. So, I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. Do you have more members of your team?
We have several that are affiliated with From the Heart, yes.
Right, and growing every day, I bet, right?
We absolutely are.
Yeah, like I said, so how do you all are preparing all these meals out of
our homes?
Wow, holy cow.
We have everything that we use is scattered amongst 3 homes. So
Right.
we have to kind of
A lot of ovens for that many, meals. I'm sure you got to use a lot of ovens.
yeah, and we have to, once we do a project or get something started, we have to gather up stuff from all 3 different places, and it's so
We
it's
talked
gonna work.
we talked about this a little bit earlier, and I just kind of want to give you a little softball here. So, if people want to help you guys, can they make a donation? Do you have any upcoming fundraisers? How can people get involved with From the Heart? How do people help?
We have a Facebook, we have a website. Shoot us a message. We can always figure out where you can help.
What's the website?
FromTheHeartMinistry.com.
And the Facebook is probably just like From the Heart Minute.
From the Heart 2020.
Okay, great. Those are a lot of people might want to know how to get a hold of you guys, and it seems like Facebook's always the first place people go, but website's probably a close second, or Instagram, or something like
We recently
that.
started TikTok. We are not
TikTok.
pros, but we did recently start a TikTok.
I don't know anything about that. So people a lot younger than me.
Social media pros by any
We're
means.
not.
Well, you sound like it when you use words like TikTok. That's awesome.
But we're a 501c3 nonprofit.
Sure. So if you make a donation, they can write that off on their tax. That's tax deductible.
Yep,
Yeah.
we keep
So-
track of all that, and we're going to mail them a letter at the first of the year.
Well, that's incredibly important. A lot of people, they might be looking for some, last minute tax deductions. Their businesses this year, we're kind of going into that last quarter. So, guys, if you want to make a donation, and if you want to know where your money's going, and there's a lot of great organizations out there, but sometimes, if you give to an organization, maybe that money goes out of town, maybe it stays in town. And maybe it does good work out of town, but it doesn't stay. And if you want your dollar to stay here, this is the kind of organization to donate to. If you want to make sure that you're helping people in Somerset help fight, homelessness, hunger, any of those things, your dollar is going to stay right here if you make a donation to From the Heart. It's going to be right here.
Yeah, through our meals on Thursday, we've been able to watch several say yes to recovery, and we've been honored to take them to recovery and watch God work in their lives. And then in answer to your upcoming fundraisers, we do a Thanksgiving. We had our first annual Thanksgiving meal last year. We delivered meals. We partnered with Somerset Delivery, and they would come and get the meals from us at the church, and they would take them to the places that needed them, the less fortunate, the ones, the shut-ins.
How'd that go?
It was amazing. How many meals did we
300.
Wow.
last year?
Wow.
And those are delivery only. Like, we didn't gather people up
Sure.
and feed them. Like, the food was delivered to their houses, and
So if you can't even get out, if you're in a wheelchair, you don't have access to a vehicle, this is something that you guys they can still get a meal on Thanksgiving. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this year we were approached by a gentleman. We have a corporate sponsorship through the Downtowner
Oh, wow. Hey,
for Thanksgiving this year, and we have been challenged with how many meals this year?
Over 500.
Over 500 meals.
so everybody, the downtown, that's Josh Collins. He's one of our chamber ambassadors and all around good guy. That's fantastic to see Josh and the downtowner get involved in that effort. That's great.
yeah.
Well, it's great work that you all are doing. And, there's a lot of good organizations. We're really blessed in this community. We've got some great organizations, but this is another one of those compliments to what you're doing. So just to recap a little bit, if you guys want to make a donation to, From the Heart Ministries, you can do that at any point. You can go to their Facebook page, From the Heart 2020, or you can go to their website, which is fromtheheartministries.com.
Ministry.
Ministry.com. You can go there. You can reach out to these ladies. These are the kind of things. You'll keep your dollar here local, and you can do a lot of good. And when we're going into the holiday season, this is kind of the crunch time. This is busy season, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is.
Now, do you do meals in the cold months? You do them every month. You're going to be right out there on the square.
On being just like mailmen.
Yeah.
Rain, snow, sleet, hail. We're going to be there.
Good for you.
We've been out there several times in the rain, and then last year when it was snowing, and I think there was only one Thursday that we missed, and that was when the big snowstorm hit.
Right.
We couldn't get out of our driveways. So, but then at the same time, we had a lot of people texting, and
Sure.
we were like, we can't miss anymore.
Well,
so we're consistent.
I'm
And
sure you end up with a lot of the same people. And I'm sure that you start to build friendships and relationships there with these people that you're providing meals to, and you're working to even kind of be, junior counselors to a lot of these people. They're getting they might be somewhere else getting treatment, or a lot of these people might not be. They might be on the fence thinking about it, and the interaction with you might be the catalyst to push them over to go get that treatment that they need.
And I'll throw this out too. If you wanted to help with the Bible bags, and like Bobby said, it's hard to know who to trust and where your money goes. We do have a donation box at the Ark Christian Bookstore on Ogden Street. Because he has been very helpful, and we can get our Bibles through him at cost.
Paul and Susan are wonderful. They're one of our Business of the Year award winners a couple of years ago. They're awesome. We big fans of the Ark. They're great.
If they don't want to contact us directly,
Yeah.
they can go to the Ark.
And the Ark is located right across from Baxter's Coffee. That's what everybody knows where everybody in America knows where Baxter's is. It's right across the street on Ogden Street. So yeah, well, that's great. Well, ladies, thank you all again for taking the time to come in. And again, guys, I'm here. Angie Blankenship, Crystal Reynolds, April Slagle, they're all here from the Heart Ministries. And just want to say thank you to you all. We appreciate you joining the chamber. You don't have to do that. You made that decision, and we appreciate that. So thank you all. And guys, this is kind of what it's all about. We want to make sure that you know about these types of organizations. We want to make sure that you support these types of organizations because they're doing fantastic work here in our community. So often we say, I wish I could do something to help, but I just don't have the time. Well, you could make a donation, and these girls are going to make the time, and they're going to be out there doing it. So, you can kind of work vicariously through what they're doing. Everybody doesn't need to set up a soup stand, on the corner. You guys are doing that already. You've got these meals. You're helping and you're working with these girls and these guys at Lake Cumberland, in the Isaiah House. Just work through them and help them out. So again, thank you all for being here. And guys, thanks for tuning in today. Let's give one more shout out to, who was it that's sponsoring your Thanksgiving meals this year? Who was it?
Josh Collins.
Oh, Josh Collins at the Downtowner. That's fantastic. It was Josh Collins. So we really appreciate him as well for doing those meals. Guys, thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll be back again next week. We've got another fun virtual ribbon cutting. Lemon Juice McGee's Comic Cavalcade. Should be a fun day. So until then, guys, have a great day. Be safe.